I feel you. You had a good day?
Yep.
Cool.
Uh,
It's motherfucking Friday night, Saturday morning, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes I just look at my bills. I just say fuck it.
right. Fuck it. Fuck the whole thing.
If you're not complaining
Fuck my
about it,
bill.
I ain't.
Right. Fuck all.
Right.
Fuck.
Like the
Fuck
only
all.
bill I'm about to pay right now is like my car note. That's it. After my car note, I worry about the rest.
Right. Shit. That's the bullshit.
That's that Brooklyn bullshit. I gotta wake up like 8 in the morning just to buy a new fucking TV and shit, and then I might do some deliveries
What
so I
happened
go to work.
to your TV?
You said what?
What happened to your TV?
Because
What happened to your TV?
I was trying to connect my Fire Stick, and I think like when I was trying to like tilt it, it kind of hit my counter hard as fuck,
Uh-huh.
and of course the screen got fucked up.
Oh wow.
It's all good. I'm just gonna go to. I got my small TV for right now. If I have time, I might get me a new TV if my deliveries are good
Yeah.
tomorrow. If not, I'll just wait till I get paid. It's not that deep.
It's crazy. Fuck.
Right. These TVs suck, bro. So fucking sensitive.
Crazy. Crazy shit. Mm-mm-mm.
But I'm just gonna go to the thrift store. At most, I can spend like $40 on like a big screen and shit, so I'll be straight.
They have that at the thrift
As long
store.
as like pawn shops, thrift stores, yeah. As
Oh,
long as I have like the HDMI ports and like the things I can connect my video games to, I'm straight. I'm not into smart TVs like that anyway. These fucking white people piss me off next door. Niggas parked to my fucking spot. I'm like, move your shit, bitch. I heard Larry June's new song he put out.
yeah. With was it Carter? He did that with.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit fire. That shit was fire.
I'm gonna start this shit in about 6 minutes. I'm not trying to stay on too long. I'm about to record some music and I'm about to chill for the rest of the night.
Shit.
So you say you like that song I sent you?
Yeah, it's dope. When that's coming out?
That's gonna be with the project. I'm trying to drop that project before the year's over.
All right.
I'm gonna call that
That
shit
shit.
load me up. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
And this project is like political. It's fun. It's raw. It's what hip hop should be. You shit.
Right.
Not these TikTok nursery rhymes and shit. Yeah, this review was supposed to have been yesterday, y'all, but I had to work last minute, so you know how that shit goes. Money comes first. Shout out to Cavase again for that dope top 30 list.
Yeah.
Sam said I heard the new Nems and Scram Jones album, Rise of the Silverback. It was really good. I gotta peep that.
Yeah. So I already heard some people giving it low scores and shit.
You said what?
I said I already heard people giving it low scores and shit. They ain't like it.
Uh, because everyone's on Quavo's ass because he dropped a new album.
Shit.
King T. I've always said I was going to talk about this. I thought I was going to talk about this one or the first one. That's the first King T album, but
Right.
yeah. A West Coast MC no one talks about.
Yeah.
This was one of Biggie's favorite rappers too. Shit. Now these crackers gonna be out here for God knows how long and shit. You know what album I can't wait for, low key?
What's that?
J. Cole's.
When is that?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come out before the year is over.
Oh,
He calls this shit the fall off. Hopefully, he doesn't live by his title.
Hopefully.
So what?
So hopefully it's good. You know.
Right. All right, my room is finally clean like a motherfucker. I'll make me a bite to eat later. All right, let's see. King T. I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Yo, let's go.
What up, niggas? Welcome to another episode of our hip hop review. It's your boy Reg in the building. And it's 1:24 in the morning. Got my homeboy Try with me. What's goody?
Yo, chilling.
Chilling like a motherfucking villain.
Yes.
That's what's up. Alright, like I said before, this was supposed to have been yesterday, but I had to fucking work. Y'all know how that shit is. Yeah, album was supposed to. The album we're talking about tonight is King T with his fourth album, For Life. This album came out in 1995 on MCA. You know what I'm saying? It came out with 3 singles. Give me 1 second. Come on. I know Dippin' was a single. I want to say Way Out There was a single. If my laptop can fucking load up. Yeah, those were singles for right now. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. That's why tell a motherfucker you stream all this shit. That's for that. All right, thank you. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Singles are Dippin', Way Out There, and Freestyle Ghetto. Those were the singles off this album. Producers include Bob Raylove, Broadway, King T, Big Mo X, The Mike Professor, DJ Pooh, D Street, Mark Sparks, Nikki Nicole, Rashad Sledge, The Rough Edge, okay, TR Funk, Ignita, which is pretty much TR Love from Ultramagnetic MC's fame, and Dayad. Guest appearances include DJ Pooh, Rashad, E Swift, Breeze, The Alcoholics, Exhibit, and Nikki Nicole. So you know how we fucking do. How did we get into King T?
I got in King T with the dipping joint. You know what I'm saying? And so just sharing them on different holics. You know, the first Alcoholics album is a classic, and he was on a couple of those joints. You know what I mean? And he's been killing it.
Definitely.
Definitely one of the
Um,
best on the West Coast. And I don't know. I used to hear rumors that Biggie was influenced by him.
yeah, he was like that was like one of his
And
favorite rappers. And shit.
he had like a to me he didn't have like, well, at least for like this album, he didn't have like a West, it wasn't like West Coast, it was East Coast beats
Right. Yeah.
by West Coast artists. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at Alcoholics. Like Alcoholics didn't really do West Coast shit. Like they had East Coast sound, and they were rhyming like East Coast MCs. You know, Cypress
Yep.
Hill, same with them. You know, one of my favorite groups, top five. You know, West Coast artists, but they had an East Coast sound, and those really were like when it came to West Coast hip hop. That's really the artists that I gravitated to was, you know, artists like the Licks and Cypress and Farside and Hyro. You know, people that they could spit. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really on that gangster shit. So you know what I'm saying? That was the West Coast hip hop for me. You know what I'm saying? And you know Excel. So Exhibit. You know, you could keep going. The Far Ride. You know what I'm saying? Like they all from the West Coast, but they all had that East Coast sound, and that's the artist I was fucking with out there.
Yeah. Don't forget Rascas too. I don't know if you mentioned him.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned Razzcast, the Far Ride, Exhibit. You know what I mean?
Respect. Respect. Um, to me, I got into him when I actually heard his first album, Act Fool, which I'm gonna save my thoughts on that when I talk about who King T is. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I just always feel like he was one of the consistently one of the best MCs I've ever heard. But he also gets so fucking slept on. It's not even funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no grand story. I just feel like he gets so effing slept on. Like, I was so close to talking about the first album, Act a Fool, but
Right.
I feel like the best album to really describe King T is the For Life album, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I'm so glad we're talking about this album. To be with you.
Right.
So, for those who don't know who King T is, he is an MC hailing from Compton, California. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much he pretty much got to start just working with DJ Pooh. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, Pooh was like working with like Low Profile and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? He was like definitely a close collaborator with like Dub C, which again, I definitely need to talk about Dub C and Mass Circle.
Yeah.
Both of those albums, the Ain't a Damn Thing Changed and Curb Serving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so close to getting Ain't a Damn Thing Changed, but a stupid eBay raised up the fucking price on it. I was like, ugh.
Oh
Anyway,
boy.
but I digress. So yeah, man. He dropped his first album in 1988 called Act a Fool, which that's in my opinion a very, very, very dope album. It's I feel like it's kind of slept on, to be real with you.
Yeah.
You know, because that same year, you had Straight Outta Compton by NWA, and we all know the story with that album. Ice-T had dropped the Power album, another very dope album too. You can even say Easy E, but the Easy Does It album. What '88 was just like the golden age of hip hop and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that album definitely was very, very, very dope. And then fast forward to 1990, he dropped the next album, which is At Your Own Risk. Again, another very dope album. I don't know if I like that one as much as Act a Fool. To me, it kind of sounded like an extension to Act a Fool, in my personal opinion. But that's not saying it's a bad thing, because one thing about King T is that he's always kept himself. If his lyricism, his flow has always been very, very, very up to par, in my opinion, and shit too. So, and then we got into 1993. You know, that was beginning to be a very busy year for him as well too. You know what I'm saying? Because he was working on his next album, which was the fucking Trifling album. But at the same time, he started mentoring these young rappers that goes by the Alcoholics and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that time, he also was like looking over the crew too, which that crew also included Exhibit. Yes, Pimp My Ride Exhibit, Restless Exhibit. At the speed of like that Exhibit and shit like that too. Because these days people forget he used to be a rapper. Well, he still raps, but
Right.
he mostly does act now and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
yeah. So then he put out his album, the Trifling album, in 1993, which that's actually my second favorite album from him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that album was so, so, so fucking ill, in my personal opinion. Like, well, it's a hot, hot Sunday. Jump up around the quarter to
Yeah.
10. Had to run to get. Sorry about that.
Yes.
So, that was also an instrumental album because he was working with like a lot of East Coast producers around that time too. Like, Marley Marl, he was working with him. Well, he was still working with West Coast producers, but he had like more of an East Coast influence
Right.
beginning with that album and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
after he dropped the Trifling album, and he definitely did his thing when it came to putting the Alcoholics on when they dropped the 21 and Over album.
Right.
He left MCA. No, excuse me. He left Capitol for MCA, and that's when he pretty much wanted to put out this album and whatnot too. MCA was pretty much had like a bigger budget, compared to Capitol. Not saying that Capitol was lacking, but listening to this album and then listening to the first three albums, you can tell in terms of production the difference of sound. and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like again, you had like a lot more East Coast acts. Like you had, TR Love and shit like that too. And then of course, Big Mo X, which was Mo Love as well. So it's kind of crazy too because some of the beats definitely kind of had like the shit that they were doing kind of had a Four Horsemen feel, like Ultramagnetic Four Horsemen kind of feel to it, but with a more laid back kind of tone and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he recorded the majority of this album in '94 and stuff too. So that's also tell you something. Because around that time you had the Death Row Records was just doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Dre and Snoop was killing it, and then of course Warren G dropped that Regulate G Funk era album, of course, and of course Tupac was blowing up at that time too. So the West Coast was still like in good hands and shit too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. And like when it comes to like the production on this album, it definitely had like a more melodic production as well too. Yeah, Q. The shittiest one, the shadiest one was definitely a very, very, very dope album. I need to get my hands on that record one day.
When it's a hot, hot Sunday, just up
Would you
around the
shut
corner
up?
at 10. When it's
So this is the final record right here. You know what I'm saying? Pretty clean vinyl. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I love this. This album cover is pretty dope. He looks like he was like in the one. That's remember that scene of
Dipping.
Menace to Society when they went to those like
Mm-hmm.
they went to go find Hale's killer at that like lone ass burger joint in the outskirts of
Right.
town. That's what this
Mm-hmm.
kind of reminds me of that album cover.
Right.
I don't know why. Yeah. Other than that, this album has
Dipping
12
in
songs.
Lolo.
You said what? You
He
said
was
what?
dipping in the Lolo.
Definitely.
He was dipping.
Yeah, man. Let's go dipping. That's a fucking classic, man. I don't give a fuck what no one says, man. I was bumping that. I was bumping that track all day today, just driving down highway and shit, listening to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Um. So yeah, man. Let's get to started with this album. Track number one, "You Can't See Me." I love that intro to the song. How it has like a very slow funk kind of groove to it, but then when the bass line kicks in and everything like that, it just gets that typical King T kind of fashion and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, nice way to kick off the album. You know what I'm saying? If all my Black Moon heads, y'all should recognize that sample. And yeah, man, definitely a very dope track. Nice way to kick off the album.
That's from the Slave joint.
Yes,
Remember that's the
yes,
Slave joint on Enter the Stage, and that's one of my favorite songs on there.
of
You know,
course. That's my one of my
I
favorites.
thought he was gonna rhyme to this real though. He didn't really rhyme to this. Yeah, like he had the Q-tip sample, and he's scratching, and the beat was fire, and he's saying, in my trunk keep my whole fifth a yak, and some hollow points from a strap. It was dope. I think he should have rhymed to the first.
Yeah, like I said, he was just too relaxed. You kind of say he was a bit too relaxed for the intro and shit. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right. Track number two, Super Nigga, featuring DJ Pooh and Rashad. This is a very interesting track. Not only is it one of my favorite tracks on the album, but you actually had DJ Pooh actually rap a few bars here as well too. He kicked out the first verse, and then you had Rashad. He came out with the second verse as well too, and then King T kind of finished it off. Um, I kind of feel like King T had the best verse, no lie. Everyone else did their thing. Super
Right.
nigga, it kind of tells a story about. It tells a story about a guy who's like who's pretty much like the not your average nigga and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like their gangster fairy tale, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope track right here. I love the samples that they were using on this one. And yeah, that Richard Pryor sample was pretty hot though. That was a dope way to use that sample and shit too, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Super Nigga. Very, very, very dope song.
D, DJ Pooh did his thing on here. Definitely
He
like his
did.
verse. He said, "I'm here to rid the city of them whack ass groups, them whack ass lyrics with them whack ass loops. I'll be the first superhero with the strap. I know I'm on that. Dope pianos, beat was fire.
Yeah, that piano was ill as fuck.
Yeah.
Alright. Track number 3, Duck. Yeah, man, we finally getting into some some gangster shit from T, you know what I'm saying? That, hide your kids, hide your wife kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, man, very, 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 very dope track. This was produced by motherfucking Broadway and King T himself. It features E Swift, you know what I'm saying? Swift coming from the Alcoholics, of course. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, pretty much some hardcore gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? Not again, pretty dope track. Not one of my favorites, but not a bad track either.
T said, they be like he's a maniac. Yeah, bitch, and getting that's real. Get the fuck up out the car and just peel. Dope ass beat as well. I liked it.
Definitely. All right, track number 4, Dippin'. Now, I'm gonna say my thoughts on the remix because I have a lot of shit to say about the remix and stuff. But the original, definitely, definitely, definitely a nice West Coast classic. Well, this and the rings are West Coast classics. I'm not gonna, but I love the original. Definitely had that lo-fi rider kind of feel to it. That it's kind of reminiscent of songs like Let Let Me Ride from Dr. Dre, Ice Cube's You Know How We Do It. You know what I'm saying? Just that low rider West Coast sunset driving kind of music and shit too. You know what I'm saying? So definitely a classic song. One of King T's signature songs, if you ask me. Yeah,
Let's go dipping through the streets. Fire track. Love the beat for that. He said, "More bounce to the ounce is what counts." So I showed, even if it means I gotta told it. The remix is fire.
definitely. All right. Next joint we got is Three Strikes You're Out. Now this was produced by the Ultramagnetic producers and whatnot. TR and Mo Love and shit. This one right here might be one of the darkest songs on this album because he's talking about police brutality and being like a black man. You have 3 strikes and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? And after that 3rd strike, that's when they slap like the cuffs on you and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's kind of crazy because he also mentioned like the New World Order and shit too on this track right here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this one right here was pretty dope. I love the line when he says, and I quote, this wild style's like lion country safari. This is for my lokes back at the Ponderosa. Check my light, check my file, bring it to trial. Get with that new 90 shit. Yes, it's funny. It's funky like a jackass. Don't even trip. I got pages and pages of metaphoric phrases. I love that inner rhyme that he was doing on that one and shit too. So yeah, pretty dope track. One of his best tracks on this album.
So it's definitely a darker track, sound wise, the beat, the bass line. You had T saying, "What catch an L make you cry like a dog?" Fire joint.
Yeah, definitely a fire joint. All right, now next track, Down Ass Loke. My favorite track off this whole album. You know what I'm saying? I love that beat from T and Broadway. That dun 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 dun. And then King T dropping with his iconic flow. Like the way he starts it off was just kind of ill. It's like, well, it's the musically drunken King T with the fifth of funk, guaranteed to make you jump like my 12 gate comp. Huh. I've been around since the days of the Sugar Hill Groove. Busted out with Act a Fool when I was 17. I made some mad ass green. Bought a 6'4" and some gold things. I mean, what I got from this track is like he's pretty much telling like his the story about how he came up in the game. You know, it's like one of those coming of life stories, and then once you get to like the second verse and everything like that, he's talking about how his life is more comfortable and everything like that. Like he's grown from that gang shit and everything, and he's like more of a he has more of a clear mind, if that makes sense. So this one right here is definitely my favorite track on the album, and probably my favorite beat on the album as well too. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
classic song. I love it.
I would have a clear mind too if bullets was zipping past my head. So you know that all make them want to have a clear mind. You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
know. But this was dope. This had like a definitely like had more of a West Coast sound to it. The beat was fire. He said what he said, lifestyles of the show and broke, ain't worried about shit because I'm a down ass low. Definitely a banging track.
Definitely. I'm reading up about the story about how Pac and King T had a fight. I never knew that shit. Interesting. But
Wow.
yeah, man. Next track, Freestyle Ghetto featuring Exhibit, Breeze, and Alcoholics. No, this was a pretty cool posse cut and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they all definitely did their thing. I didn't really care too much for that beat though. I feel like that beat was kind of it could have been a
You didn't
bit
like the
better.
beat? Wow.
No, it, I didn't. It's not that I dislike. I just felt like it could have been a bit better. But everybody
I thought
else,
it,
they did their thing. You said you thought it was fire.
yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good beat.
Respect.
You know,
Yeah.
Exhibit killed it,
Um,
man. Like I see, that's why I love. I love MCs that can just
he killed it.
flow to any beat. It don't have to be necessarily G Funk because he's on the West. It could be any beat. Exhibit will kill it. He's done it already. Any beat you put him on,
Right.
whether it's Ray, whether it's Primo, whoever, he kills it. And he showed it on this joint. You know what I'm saying? He said a rock rhymes to make niggas throw their sets up. Couldn't hold my style if he had a pair of handcuffs. Classic, classic verse by Exhibit. I love the beat. It was real eerie. The bass line. This was fire.
Definitely. Um, it's funny too because the line. I have to mention this just to fuck with you. When Bree said, "But I still
Uh,
get more cheers than Ted dance."
oh Lord. Of course he would
I,
mention that.
I just had to mention that. But
I think they were referring to them being a bunch of drunks than anything else. You know.
oh shit. And I gotta mention one more fucking line and shit.
Oh man.
Well, motherfucking J-Ro Attach was like, "But these bitches tuning me in like it's the Young and the Restless." Next up to bust my shit from the L.
Oh Lord. That brought a
Like this
smile to
whole
your face,
fucking
huh?
this whole fucking song has double entendres and shit like that. It's like I said, lyrically the song is dope, but I just didn't care for that beat too much.
Oh man.
Mm. Yeah, man. Next track is called "Way Out There." And this is another one of my favorite tracks on this album and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? This track right here is definitely um produced by the Mike Professor and Broadway. What I got from this song right here is just, again, just like another like kind of song in the same vein as Dipping. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying, just him just chilling, chilling, and everything like that. And that G Funk instrumental was what really got me. What really got me and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? And T T's flow on this track is again
Mm-hmm.
one of the best flows you've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he be starting off this shit, like all aboard the mothership, prepare to sit still, lyrics fat swell like as a killer whale. You know, honestly, I can see Domino on this beat. You remember that nigga Domino?
Yes.
Yeah, I can definitely see Domino killing this beat too.
Here we go. Here we go. To get the
Go
toe
as a chick,
jam is about to slam.
that's to slam and
Yes, I remember him.
that's
He's still
yeah,
doing music.
he is. My joint from
Yeah,
him is um
yeah,
do you qualify? You sure look good to me.
yeah.
That was my joint from him.
That was
Even
dope.
though
That was dope. I love
I understand.
Tales from the Hood joint. Remember that joint?
Yeah, he did catch a body on that
That's my
track
joint.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got compared a lot to Snoop Dogg and shit. That's the thing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, this was
But
fire.
that's my
This
thoughts on way
definitely
out
had
there.
dope beat to it. Nice pianos. This was solid.
Definitely. All right, track number 9. Let's get it on. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope song and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This also was produced by Nicki Nicole and shit too. Again, just that chilling, cruising kind of music and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just King T floating on this beat. I fuck with it.
Yes. Definitely enjoyed this one. It had like it was real jazzy, with the horns and coming in and the bass line, and it was like one of those jazzy '90s hip hop tracks.
Right.
Yeah.
Like something like you would hear Tribe on and shit.
Right. Yeah. You know, freestyle fellowship.
Yes. Ooh, that's an underrated group right there. Okay.
Yeah. Another one from
Um.
Cali. Yeah.
Yeah. AC alone, man. That nigga. All that all
Yes.
ball all balls
AC
don't bounce
alone.
out.
That's a dude that don't get mentioned at all.
Yeah, man. All
Yes.
balls don't bounce is my
Definitely.
fucking out. Come on.
Fire.
Like Book of
Fire.
Human Language. I know Book of Human Language is like a lot of people's favorites though, but I'm more of a all balls don't
Uh-huh.
bounce. Yeah.
Yeah, that
All
was a
right.
good
Next
one.
track.
Definitely. Definitely.
Definitely.
I think him and Murs, they criminally underrated.
Ooh, Murs is another good one. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
definitely.
Murs had whole underground on lock back at that time. That
Still
album he
doing
did
it.
with
He
Ninth
just
Album.
dropped a new album today. He's still doing it.
Really? Really? Oh shit.
Yeah, he dropped a new album today.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Next track we got is Check the Flow. And then again, another pretty solid track right here. You know what I'm saying? This features Sledge. Not Sister Sledge. Yeah, pretty cool track. Sledge did the thing, T did the thing. You know what I'm saying? They were just kind of going back and forth and shit. So I like it.
Yeah, I like the King sample on there. We had like a quirky melody, but the beat was dope.
Definitely. All right. Next song is called Advertisement. You know what I'm saying? This one right here is pretty cool. You know, it's kind of controversial a little bit because he kind of threw a shot at Luke Skywalker. You know what I'm saying? AKA Uncle Luke. Story with that shit goes
How he
was
beef with the,
you said what?
I was saying how you get into beef with Uncle Luke?
I'm gonna explain it. So, Luke came out with a song in '91 called "Cowards in Compton" and everything. You know what I'm saying? And and it was pretty much like a diss to specifically NWA, but he said pretty much like "fuck Compton." Like it was like he was just pretty much talking shit about Compton rappers and stuff too. And King T being the MC from Compton, he didn't really take too nicely about that. You know what I'm saying? Which to be expected and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you come from my city, I'm gonna
Yeah.
come for you if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, and he said he did an interview with the Source. He did an interview with the Source when he was just like, fuck that nigga. That nigga being Luke and shit like that too. He talking about how he didn't really base the whole. It was just like a little small jab. He didn't base the whole song off that, which he really did it because the song itself, he was a pretty good song and stuff like that. Has some dope quotables too, like a line where he says some crazy ass shit for the listeners. Up against the wall with bitches. Damn, I wonder why he don't got the chronic like Snoop because he's from the alcoholic group. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty dope shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just that Luke line. That Luke line was pretty. He definitely had to clap back at Luke for that shit. Because a lot of motherfuckers were even coming for Luke after he came out with that record and shit too. I think Tweety Bird Lope also came for him and shit too. So yeah, and of course you guys should see the wider beef episode between Dre and Luke. That's honestly that's actually my favorite episode I've done so far. So yeah,
I was Luke from Florida and he got beef with niggas from in Cali. Yeah, I don't understand that. You know what I'm
because it was
saying?
just like the same way with when Tim Dog did that fuck Compton and shit like that too. That's just the same way because
And
Luke was. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
if that was now in this era and Luke did that, Game would have been a part of that beef too because he's from Compton.
Name dropping Luke's name.
You know?
Oh Lord. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, name dropping exactly. He would have been doing that shit. It's crazy. And the irony is he on Grown Up Hip Hop alongside Easy E's son. The
Right.
same person that he had is the same. He had beef with his father back in the day. It's crazy.
That's wild.
Yep. I mean, I thought it was a dope track. Had a dope beat. And bass line. I didn't know King T was in beef with him with Luke, but I'm not surprised because Luke he just seemed like he was a troublemaker.
See, it wasn't even a beef. It was just like keep Compton's name out your mouth, or else it will become a beef kind of shit.
And
You know what
you
I'm
and you
saying?
already got and this is after the Chronic drop, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So you already got embarrassed by Snoop and Dre on that Chronic album, that Chronic intro alone. You know what I'm saying? And then Dre Day and all that. You know what I'm saying? You would think he would have
Luke's
been like,
getting.
okay, let's chill. Yeah, you would have thought like, yo, let me just chill. He back at it again. This time with King T. It makes no damn sense.
Hey, at least, but yeah, but you should know, man. Luke was whooping ass to the Death Row Cats and shit like that. That Jack the Ripper shit. You know what I'm saying?
Supposedly, there's no video footage of it. I used to hear rumors about that. There's no footage of that. So yeah, supposedly.
Because back in the day, man, when rappers used to fight back in the day before social media, it used to be like a myth of legend. Like there's that story
Yeah,
with Ice Cube that the lynch mob fought with Above the Law.
yeah. One group that was there that he wasn't fucking with was Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang was there deep. He wasn't fucking with them.
Oh hell no, hell the fuck no.
You know what I'm
Honestly,
saying? They was there. They were there
if
with like 500 people. So it's like, nah.
man, if anyone beef with Wu, I'm automatically just siding with Wu. That's just me.
Yeah. That's one group he wasn't fucking with. Yeah, you have a better chance of going after King T and all that, but not Wu. They wasn't playing that shit.
This nigga was going after Kid and Play and Salt and Pepper too.
Right. Yeah, I seen Kid and Play on the Math Hoffa podcast, and they were talking about that.
Yeah. Which that
Yeah,
part,
and
I'm not gonna
they
hold you.
got they got after him on Next Question. I'm like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. These motherfuckers think they just was like on some kick step shit.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna hold you. I like the I ain't bullshitting part one. I feel like Luke did kind of get a few digs on Kid and Play on that one. I ain't gonna hold you.
right. Yeah,
But
but they when they were backed into a corner, they felt like they had it to come out and say something, and they did.
because niggas didn't expect Kid and Play to rap like that, you know. They everyone thought it was a
Right,
whole hey.
right. But they forget these niggas still from Queens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Queens niggas ain't gonna just back down and have you diss the shit out of them and they ain't gonna say nothing.
Right. Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that shit, bro. You ain't lying. All right. And the last track is the Dippin' remix. Hands motherfucking down. My favorite version of Dippin'. One of my
Yeah,
favorite remixes in hip hop, in my opinion. Like the beat definitely sounded more sonically better than like the original version and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the song, this is the version that makes you actually want to go dipping in the streets, in my opinion. Like no pun intended and shit, you know what I'm
right.
saying? Yeah, man, like this is definitely a classic hip hop track right here, you know. I tend to listen to the remix a bit more. I
Uh,
tend to listen to the remix like a bit more than the original version and shit like that too. But at the same time, hey, it is what it is. Both great songs. I'm just more of the remix kind of guy, just how that shit was like well produced, well mixed, and of course, T definitely did his thing on this one and shit too. You know what I'm saying?
right. Speaking of remixes, I just remembered I when we did the Molly Mall beat battle, I did play a King T joint, the Active Fool joint.
You
I think
did,
it was.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was the Molly Mall remix. Yeah, that was fire. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying? This I like this one. This definitely sounded like a G Funk track, and it almost sounded like Dr. Dre remix this one. You know what I'm saying? Like the beat and the strings on it. This is definitely a classic remix.
honestly, it kind of has more of an Ant Banks feel to it to me. I don't know if
And
it's just
Banks.
me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like when he did Two Shorts Getting Where You Fit In, it definitely has that same kind of
Right.
sonically sound to it. Which that's actually my favorite Too Short album too, believe it or not. You
Right.
know?
Dope.
Yeah,
Dope.
man. Yeah, I definitely gotta talk about that You Nasty album from Too Short one day. But at the same time, I'm not in a rush to get to the 2000s Too Short era. So yeah. Damn, I forgot I paid $30 for this vinyl. Shit. Wow. Okay. Hey, it's a rare album. It's a rare album.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do that.
Yeah. Overall, man, this album to me is one of the best King T albums. Possibly my favorite King T album next to Trifling album. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is like his more. It's like a good mixture between G Funk and mid '90s boom bap, if that makes sense and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like his performance on this album was stellar to none. It was nothing short of brilliance in my opinion. Like, yeah, man, this whole album is just fire. It's definitely a perfect summertime cookout album and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would definitely give this album. Dare I say it? I'm gonna give it 5 mics. I feel like it's a classic album. It might not be the typical classic hip hop classic that people might not run out and say it, but at the same time, I enjoyed this album. It's no gimmicks, none of that, no gimmicks, no crazy shit, just a entertaining ass album. So with that being said, I accept it for what it
I think it definitely has an East Coast boom bap sound. A lot of the beats to me sounded the same though on a lot of the tracks. He didn't really
is.
switch
Yeah.
it up when it came to like the different production, but I think it's just solid, just a solid beats and rhymes album. No skits. You know what I'm saying? No, not too many guest appearances. He killed it. That's 4.5 for me. Definitely a solid West Coast album. Mike was good.
Definitely. What's up, Mike? Yeah, man. And that's pretty much that. What time is it? I'm gonna stay on for like 10 more minutes and shit. I can make this a full hour. But yeah, man. But back to the whole Luke situation and shit too, because the thing that made Luke kind of dislike, NWA was the fact about the whole Dr. Dre D Barnes situation and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Because now a lot of people fucking with Dre after that shit at that time, and so
Wow.
he did that some faking like gangsters where, and there's an outro where he pretty much called all the NWA members. I think he called them all out except for Ice Cube. 'Cause I think at that time Cube had already left the group. I could be wrong.
Mm, right,
Said how they weren't real gangsters and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
right. Wow. It's crazy.
yeah, but thankfully him and
Yep.
Snoop squashed the beef and stuff like that too. I think him and Dre also squashed it as well. So
Right.
yeah, man. When I did that episode, I always ask myself, how did that shit start? Because they always make it out seem like, oh, they started to be because Dre and Snoop dissed them on Dre Day. I was just like, nah, that can't be it. But you
Right.
know how I do it.
Yeah.
Because he also, I bought his book too on Kindle when I
Uh-huh.
was doing that episode, and he was talking about a story about how he also got into it with Run DMC back in the '80s when um they opened for Run DMC or some shit like that,
Right.
and they management kind of like was fucking up with their time. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
I think they followed and Run DMC, and then the Run DMC's manager fucked up with their time, talking about they only had like 5 minutes to perform, and they did a
Right.
song. They did a song called "My Penis" or some shit like, which was like a rip of My Adidas, some shit like that.
Right.
And they almost came. Run DMC and Tupac almost came to blows that night.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah. Run
Crazy.
DMC. Run DMC also had beef with MC Hammer as well too.
Oh yeah, we know about that. Well, Hammer, I think Hammer was wrong because Hammer was just calling out legends. You know what I mean? And it's bad enough that you was already looked at as a commercial artist. If you looked at as if you looked at already as a commercial artist and you're corny and you calling out people like Run DMC and Redman and shit, the whole community just disrespected them. Tribe dissed them on Check the Rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Rap is not props. If you call it that, then stop. That's what Tip said. You didn't have to say Hammer's name. You already knew who he was talking about.
That was actually one
You
of the
know,
first disses to MC Hammer too.
right? You know what I'm saying? And it was like for me, like I grew up on Hammer. I think Hammer, when it came to his stage shows, he was definitely one of the best to ever do it. He got hits. I think when he started doing that though, and then the whole shit with him, spending his money so crazy, that's when he lost the respect of the community. You know what I'm saying? But because people got to respect him. 'Cause he did really open the door for hip hop to go commercial, to sell units. You know what I'm saying? Vanilla Ice don't get that pass because he came off arrogant. You know what I'm saying? He had one hit. That's all. That's all he ever have. That's all he ever will have. You don't get the same pass like Hammer.
Right. Yeah, man. What else? What else is going on? Yeah, the whole third base shit when Hammer and Call third base had that argument over the radio show too. That was hilarious.
Right. Yeah. But that's like I said, like he already lost that respect of the community, so he opened himself up for people to take shots at him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I mean, that's hip hop for you, man. Shit.
If him was truly an MC, he would have got at Redman. You know, if he call you out on a record, go back and make a diss song and call him out.
He did that funky
Yeah, but
headhunter. He did that.
it was whack. The album was garbage. I don't know how you like that album. That album was not good. You know,
It's entertaining. It's an
it's
entertaining album.
entertaining,
That's
not
all.
for me. Shit, give me Macklemore and Ryan Lewis over Hammer. They
Oh no,
entertaining.
now you
They entertaining. Fuck that funky head on the bullshit.
pumps in the bump. Pumps in the
Bumps on the
bump.
Bum is like the only listenable song on there, and even that video was cringe. Can't even watch that video.
Which one?
The one where he's in his tiger speedos and shit.
Oh Lord.
Hammer, put some clothes on. You know what I
It's
mean?
like, please, him, but don't hurt him.
He was shorting me with that fucking tiger speedo on. Beastie Boys was out before Vanilla Ice. People seem to forget that. So Vanilla Ice wasn't making nobody corny but himself. He didn't make white rappers look corny. He made himself look corny.
Exactly. Ooh. Ice, ice, baby, my ass. Did this nigga say he was in the gang fight or some shit?
Who said that?
Vanilla
He
Ice.
did. What was that?
He said he got stabbed in the butt or some shit.
He almost got thrown off a ledge. He didn't have a he didn't have a good time being a hip hop artist, huh? He should have retired after that.
See, that's the thing. He keeps changing his story about that shit.
That shit happened to him. If the fact that he keeps changing the story means it actually happened.
Sugar was trying to treat him like fucking 5 heartbeats and shit. Fuck your office hours, nigga.
So I was like, give me a fucking publishing for that Ice Ice Baby song.
Got the publishing and ended up creating Death Row Records, and then the rest is history.
No, you way off. You way off, Q, as usual. He didn't make white rappers look corny. He made himself look corny. Y'all know how long Beastie Boys been out? Go back and do your research. Don't say no stupid shit like that. Beastie Boys was out way before him, and they were fire. He could have been number one for a whole decade. Like, it wouldn't matter. He was still corny. I don't go by record sales. That shit don't mean nothing to me.
Just to jiggle on.
Vanilla Ice was number one on Billboard for 40 weeks. He was still fucking whack. So what you trying to say? Billboard don't dictate what's hot in hip hop. They never did. No. No, Marky Mark was had a better album than him. Track for track, he had a better album than Vanilla Ice.
I agree.
And he was, and people keep forgetting Marky Mark was a part of New Kids on the Block and left to become a solo artist. He didn't lie about where he came from like Vanilla Ice do.
Yeah, he was harassing like fucking all races and shit.
Right, jumping up from genre to genre and shit. You know what I'm saying? Everlast was part of Rhyme Syndicate first before he got with House of Pain. He was not a whack rapper.
Yeah, Beastie Boys, man, especially when they drop ill communication and shit.
Crazy. One of the illest rap albums ever. You know what I'm saying? A punk band that could play their own instruments and they could rap. Who's fucking with them?
Not Vanilla Ice.
You know what I mean?
Let me answer a few more people. Just for Gigolo, everybody knows. Oh, why did these crackers just go back?
Why do people bring up record sales like that? Like that matter? You know, some of the wackest albums went fucking diamond. That shit don't
That's
matter. You know what I'm saying? The best albums that don't sell fucking units are the ones that are classics in this genre. You know what I'm saying? Like Black on Both Sides. That shit never went platinum. One of the best debut albums for a solo artist. Internal Affairs, another one. Like, come on. Big L's first album. I don't care about record sales. That shit don't matter. Is the money going in your pocket?
yeah, records still just be like, ugh. Lil Uzi's album's number one. Does that mean it's a good album?
Exactly. It went number one, and they make the first rap album to go number one. Who cares? It's still garbage. Larry June and Alchemist has the best rap album of the year. Killer Mike, Michael. Those are way better than anything Uzi Vert will ever drop. They don't need to go number one. You know what I'm saying? When these artists go platinum, that shit don't matter to me because even if I bought the album, the money not going in my fucking pocket. I'm not getting a platinum plaque from my wall. Why the hell would I care
Right.
about that?
I'm thinking about the wrong things. But yeah, I'm about to actually end this off for the night because I'm about to chill for the rest of the night. So yeah. So Sunday, you say you're going to like the native. Tongues
Yeah,
concert or some
Dana
shit.
King reunion is on. Yeah, they having a reunion show in Harlem.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
got you.
So uh, we'll see what time I come back.
Yeah, because I was trying to do Assassination Monday, but Kavasa hit me back up, and I really wanted him to be on that one too. So if you come back late, then we just do Biz Marquee on Monday and shit.
All right.
Just let me know ahead of time.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So this week is gonna be cool with reviews. We got let me pull up the schedule. So like I said before, Kavasa is available. We definitely want to do Assassination from Cast. Wednesday is gonna be Mussolini and Ninth Wonder with a double review. You know what I'm saying? On both of the albums that they came out with and shit. Really can't wait to talk. Cause I finally heard some shit from those, and I was like, okay, I like what I heard and
Yeah.
everything like that. So,
Mussolini, but yo, you know what crazy? Mussolini requested me like years ago on Instagram. I didn't know who the fuck he was.
oh wow,
And this is before they did the two albums with Ninth Wonder.
and I look
You
at
know
him
what I mean?
now.
But yeah, we gotta talk about it. He's another one that's killing it now. That you're not getting no you're not getting no mention. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty chill week when it comes to reviews, honestly, because I know I gotta work literally all week, and my next day off is Wednesday, so I'm definitely gonna do like a lot of resting and shit like that too. So yeah, it's gonna be a chill week and everything. I may or may not do some surprise shit. I don't know yet, but hey, it is what it is.
some surprise shit. Like what?
That
What you gonna do? Like Vanilla Ice review?
no, like I got some videos on deck I'm working on and shit too. So might be some pre-recorded shit, you know. So just be on the lookout. I don't want to reveal like a lot of shit.
Okay.
Other than that, thank y'all so much for watching. This King T album is actually out of print. It's kind of up there in price depending on where you search at. You know, so like you already heard me. I said I paid $30 for this vinyl and shit too. So
Hey, when in doubt, you get Santa Eric for the gifts. You know what I mean?
other than that, hope everyone has a wonderful night. I'll see you later. Try.
All right.
I'll be safe. Peace.